Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the live review. I do need to change the layer. There we go. The overlay's done. Yes, guys, welcome back to another live review. It's Chelsea 3, Luton 1. I do need to add Alex into chat as well. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, we're through to the next round of the FA Cup. We got Barnsley away in the next round. This one was, do I say straightforward? I think the first half we dominated for majority period until Luton ended up getting a goal back, but we still looked a bit stronger going towards the end of the first half. Second half, I do think it was another case of two halves, whereas like the first half of the second half, they really started piling on a bit more of the pressure. But as soon as we got the third goal from Tammy Abraham, the game just was completely killed off by that point. It was very comfortable, but was happy to see a change in formation. The 4-2-3-1 brought a lot of different changes to the way that we play, and I liked it for the positive. Billy Gilmour and Mason Mount as the deep line playmakers, the two in the pivot. I thought that was a very good move from the pair of them. And they both had comfortable games today. Timo Werner as well, playing as a second striker in behind Tammy Abraham, I thought was excellent. Say, oh shit, Alex, you got the camera on. Big up yourself, bro. Alex, we'll go to you as well anyway, but chat to me about the game. What was your thoughts?
Man, yeah, overall, I was impressed. I mean, people can say it's only Luton, but they're no mugs, man. At the end of the day, they're championship, and going into this game, I knew they didn't score a lot of goals or even concede a lot of goals. So, I didn't think we would crush them, but you know, other than a couple of final balls and a couple of players being caught out, like Reece James, you know. I didn't think we were that bad at all, to be honest. I just hope, obviously, it's a completely different kettle of fish, but I hope we take that momentum and use it for the Wolves game.
Yeah, because it felt like one of those performances where the only real times you had to worry was when we put pressure on ourselves or if we made mistakes on our point. But it was never. There was only really one chance where it was like really Luton piling the pressure on us, and that led to a big chance. That was like Kepa's main big save in the second half. Scott, I'll go to you as well. What were your thoughts on today?
I thought it was a good performance from nearly everyone. I think you can only really look at a couple of players and say they probably didn't have the best of games. But yeah, I thought it was, as you said, it was comfortable. It wasn't really anything to worry about, bar, when Luton put a bit of pressure and had that chance that Kepa made the good save. I won't say it's an incredible save. It was a good save. They didn't really have much else. And, if you look at it, we really could have got, I don't know, like 6 or 7. I mean, besides scoring a hat-trick, Tammy himself just could have had 6 alone. But no, it was a good performance. I just think there's a couple of little things that you would say we would probably need to tweak and either kind of refine a little bit before the Wolves game, but comfortable, I think.
Yeah, comfortable performance for the most part. Only thing I could say was we could have killed that game off miles earlier than we did. Like, it was another game where someone said it perfectly. There's Andy. He said Ziyech robbed of 3 assists. It was a case where we could have killed this game off by half time if we were more clinical. Werner had a string of chances. Tammy Abraham could have had that hat trick ages ago before he finally
had 2, I think.
Yeah, Pulisic had a few chances as well. For him, I can't lie, this seemed to be another one of those iffy performances from him. Like, I'll grant he came off with the injury later on in the game. I'm not trying to have that impact too much on his performance. But him on the ball was just, again, where there just wasn't enough end product from him. Dag, I'm going to go to you. What was your thoughts on today, mate?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I only watched the second half because it was
too early for you,
man. At 7 a.m. It was a crazy one. But just off of the second half performance, there is no reason why Hudson-Odoi should not be starting. Like, there is no reason why he shouldn't be starting. Not over Ziyech, but over Pulisic. And we saw Mason Mount in the in a pivot, but it wasn't really a defensive pivot. He was basically in the box the entire time. But obviously, the going up against Luton gave us that sense of security. But I feel like I don't know. It just there was nothing confidence boosting about that game for me. Like, for individual players, like Werner, he can't catch a break. He simply cannot catch a break. He finally gets the penalty to maybe score in just a little, just throw and get him to double digits for one. But it was even the way the penalty was taken, just where he placed it. It just, I don't know what he.
You don't see anything in his technique for the penalty because
No.
I didn't really think it was that bad. It was more of a good start.
It wasn't the technique. I'm talking more about the placement. I mean, like, why would you put it just to the right of the goalkeeper? That's kind of like it. I don't know. I just feel like that it just wasn't the smartest for me. For me, I feel like with penalties, you should always be going for a corner, like no matter what. Like, but it is what it is. We ended up winning. Good performance from. It was a good performance from Tammy. When someone gets 3 goals, it's a good performance. But again, it just feels like he was missing some that it was. I don't know. It just. I feel like he could have done better with, especially that one cross from. Was it Callum or what?
Yeah, it was. Well, the one that went straight across the box, and he could have stretched out and did.
Just, like, glanced it instead of hitting it back across.
Yeah.
But I felt like he could have done better with that. I mean, Giroud would have put that in the back of the net. But again, that's just something that, as you go on, you learn. But, we'll see how it goes. But a good performance from Gilmour, yeah. And the defense, was they weren't really defending. Again, it's a good performance. That's why I don't like these FA Cup games, because they have no sense of, like, they're going to score on us, or they feel like they don't have to have a security blanket back there. So there's always the extra man in the box, which is why we always, why the score sheet's always so, it's always like 4-1, 5-1, 3-1, because there's always that extra man in the box compared to going up against I don't want to say real sides, but Premier League sides.
A lot of people were saying the penalty, half the reason from it was because he was still tired from the run. Guys, what's your thoughts on that?
I just feel so sorry for him, man. I feel so sorry because he had such a good game, and that just, I can tell that knocked off his confidence. Like, if he would have scored that, I think his confidence would have been sky high. Because up to the penalty, like, he was good, and even after the penalty, he got the ball a couple of times, and it's just his touch was off. He couldn't string 1 or 2 passes. Like, his confidence was shot after that. But yeah, we were dominating. It was just that period in the second half where it was 2-1, and then, like, they were just coming at us. We should have wrapped it up early, man. We should have wrapped it up in the first half. It should have been like 3-4-0. Even at the start of the second half, it should have been like, we should have got that early goal to make it free and kill off the game. But it's Chelsea, so we're always gonna have to make it hard for ourselves. We can't just get a comfortable win. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think
about the penalty being tired from the run, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
It was a poor penalty.
Like, Giroud was asking for it, then you give it off. Like, that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's a penalty. It's literally 2-step shoot. It's not like you have to be like, you have to run 15 yards and then try and make. No, that's not. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense.
But I don't get it, because all his penalties, they're always to the left, and he chose to go to the right. I think it got to his head. Like, he should have just went to the left with all that power, like the ones he did against the two ones he did against Rennes, the one he did against Krasnodar, where he just hit it to the left and it was comfortable. So even if the keeper goes the right way, he's got that momentum, so it's gonna go past him anyways. But with the right, it's kind of like, it's for that caress, like that finesse. Them ones you can like properly place it. With him, it's like a smash penalty.
Let me say something quick. Towards the penalty. Honest opinion, poor penalty, but placement of nothing. It's just a placement wrong for me, bro. Whether I kick it left or right, people made a decision.
But it's not a placement. But he's not a placement penalty taker. He's one that just smashes it to one side and he hopes it goes in. He's not one of them who waits for the keeper to move or tries to properly caress it into one corner.
No.
It's smashed to one side.
But that's my point.
It's a fucking penalty. It's literally 50-50. Like, there's like, just it happened. He missed, so we move.
Yeah, we'll move on. The penalty was not played properly. We're saying kick it to the left, bro. It doesn't matter. If the goalkeeper went to the left, he still would have saved it because it was not inched to the corner. You get me? That penalty was not confident at all. You see, he didn't even look at the goal. He was looking down in the ground, brethren. He was not confident about taking the penalty at all. Zero confidence. Zero.
Yeah. I don't know. I
With
feel
that in
like it
mind,
might have
then,
been the
would you
pressure.
have
Can I
wanted
just say
him to
that-
take the penalty? Because I'm not trying to put too much focus onto it, because the fact is it was 3-1 Chelsea by that
I
point. It
apologize.
doesn't mean too much.
I
But
think he had a good
same
game
way,
up to
if
that
you're saying
penalty.
that he didn't look confident for it, are you saying he should have taken it then in that case?
Yeah, him should. I mean, bro, he should have taken it because we wanted him to score, but it's clearly not a Werner year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold on, but
it's
Kevin
not knocking
Fraser,
his
I was going to say that thing, like, if that's the case, just smash it. If it's a case of like technique plays, just put your foot through it. Because
He's
at the
not
end of
like
the day,
Eden Hazard who waits for the keeper to move, or he's like a Jorginho. He's a person who just smashes the pen
okay,
in.
but he didn't smash
He should have done that.
right. And the problem
Yeah,
is
that's-
he didn't
yeah.
smash this one. Like that's
Yeah.
the problem. Like the fact is he didn't choose placement. He didn't choose power. He chose bullshit. Like he literally just like he would have been better off chipping the keeper, because maybe that would have confused the keeper at least a little. But he literally put it into his hands. Like literally, there was no power behind it, and there was no placement. And Kevin talking
It's
about
one of those-
fatigue, the man literally got subbed on 5 minutes ago. This is the same guy that's Turbo Timo, and he's fatigued after 10 minutes, 5 minutes of play. But that's not an excuse. You can't say he was fatigued when he's taking a penalty. That's not an
Bro.
excuse.
It
was a poor penalty, but
unlucky, bro. I'm not blaming Timo Werner. It's just
Yeah.
unlucky because penalty,
Yeah,
as you said,
of
it's
course, yeah.
50-50. If the keeper already picked his side even before Timo kicked it, as you could see, the keeper was already diving already to his left. You get me? It's just Timo just kick it the way the keeper chose. 50-50. Y'all play FIFA. Come on, it's just how it is, man.
but fact is, he played well.
we're not there yet. Hold on.
Yeah, I did want to say that as well. I don't want to look like we're putting too much disrespect.
Yeah,
into
we're
him.
just talking-
To be fair,
He had
Good getting up to the pen, but it's just like I feel like his confidence is shot now. Because if he
Yeah.
would have scored that pen, his performance was really good. Like he was making runs, he looked confident, and then after he missed that pen, like he got the ball a couple of times after that, and then he lost it once. He couldn't dribble past someone. He couldn't put a normal 5-yard pass. Like his confidence is shot. Like think about after the Fulham game where he missed 3 chances, which were from open play, but you get if they missed them. But he's now missed a penalty, which is meant to be his bread and butter, because he scored 3 for us. He was Leipzig's penalty taker, so now he's not even scoring penalties. So his confidence is shot. That's what I can say. His confidence is shot.
I think as well, if you look at his reaction after the pen, like I'll compare him to, like, loads of people seem to be comparing to Morata. So like if you look at Morata when he was missing chances or whatnot, it was always his body language was terrible. It was always looking like he was trying to blame someone else. It was always like, woe is me. You look at Werner after that penalty, he's pissed off with himself. He's not pissed off of anything. Like he's pissed off of himself that he's missing that. He tried to rip his shirt off of him. And it's like that sort of thing I actually like seeing. I know he missed and everything, but as people have said, he had a good game today. Like his movement, him playing in that 10
him behind Tammy Abraham was excellent today, especially first 10 minutes he was warming up into the role. But past the 10-minute mark until the penalty, I thought he had a great performance today.
Yeah, like his movement was brilliant. His linker play spoken about, like we saw him everywhere, and I think I said this during the watch along. That's how Kai Havertz should be playing as well. In that 10 role where you're allowed to free roam, you're allowed to go into the middle, make runs, go on the left, go on the right, interchange wherever you want. It's like how Hazard used to play sometimes, where you're put on that left wing, but you've been given license to roam about and maybe turn up on the right, maybe turn up in the middle, maybe get a goal from like a post net or whatever. And it's stuff like that. It's like the kind of, that's what we want to see.
Yeah, I think Timo, he's good. He's good when there's another striker, be it Giroud or Abraham, because whenever he's a lone striker, he's just a left winger. I just feel like there's too much, focus on him.
It also as well, just on that point, when he plays in that striker role, if he drifts, because we got no one else making the runs, it takes away that focal point. It takes away being able to do anything. Because if we had like Kai or we had, Mount or someone else being able to make the runs from the attacking mid, or we have the wingers being a bit tighter in, he could drift as much as he wants playing from that striker role, because then it's not like the only focal point.
In the left wing or the striker, there was always like focus on him. Like when he played against City, there was focus on him because he's the only striker. But when there's 2 strikers, kind of like if there's a Giroud or an Abraham, there's like that big striker that's the vocal point for long kicks, for someone to just play off, or like just for the defenders. And then Werner's just there making runs, drifting left, right. So yeah, I think he's good in a 2, but I would play him as an impact sub against Wolves. I just play him as an impact sub because I think his pace would be good if it's like 1-1 because it's going to be a tight game against Wolves. It's not going to be a walk in the park. So yeah, I think an impact sub will be good for Werner. But yeah, I just hope everything I'm saying is wrong and his confidence isn't shot because when Werner's confidence is shot, you can't even put a normal 5-yard pass. Like his first touch is just off.
He's just being
So yeah,
out on the left-hand
but
side.
he had a good game.
One second.
Yeah.
Kevin Fraser with this question. I was going to save this for towards the end, but seeing as you dropped this, we'll do this now. Real question: who starts comes Wolves? The first thing I think we can all agree on: Aspie's going to be playing on the right for this game. It isn't going to be Reece James.
Yeah.
Now, whether we want that to be the case or not is a completely different case. But he played the 2 games in the week. He's still meant to be coming back from an injury, so I see no reason why this guy's going to play against Wolves. The back 2 probably calls itself. Antonio Rudiger and Thiago Silva again, and Ben Chilwell on the left-hand side. Edouard Mendy in goal as per usual. Midfield, though.
I'll be real. You put Cho in for Pulisic, and I'd play the rest of what played today and in the formation because I think it worked. I know it was only against Luton, people say, but it worked. We were playing a lot more fluidity. It was a lot quicker.
Yeah. I know, but my only thing is rotation. Like, we need to rotate with the games coming up.
For me, Werner and Abraham should definitely play. I know Werner missed, but he was good in that 10. Unless you're going to put Havertz in there, it makes no sense to change that.
We'll take the miss. We'll take the miss out of it. He had a good performance. Like, I can't.
I'm be honest. I didn't watch most of the first half, but I saw all of the second half. And let me tell you this: the energy of the team performance. I think it doesn't matter which formation we play today. If we played any formation, the way the guys came out today to play Luton would have gotten a positive result either way. The thing is, the 4-4-2 formation, it worked, but it's not the way forward because we have too many midfielders. If you think about it, we have Werner and Abraham up front. So that means we have like Havertz can't play either way. Can't be a starter. No way. There's no way Havertz can start now if we're gonna see.
Yeah, but Havertz should have played in this game, in my opinion, because
No,
I think
no,
hold on. Before
we can't play Havertz in another formation.
It would have been the perfect game to play Havertz today.
Yeah, not
exactly.
with that formation, not with 4-4-2.
No, not with the 4-4-2. No,
I wouldn't.
I don't think it was a
Havertz
4-4-2
for
though.
Abraham.
No, it was a 4-4-2.
was it though? Because I'm.
I was a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I thought it was 4-2-3-1.
Because you saw how deep
Werner was playing in that. Yeah, Werner was playing in that sort of attacking midfield role, like the number 10. So
he was just in behind them.
Yeah, and that's where I think you can play Havertz.
4-2-3-1, yeah.
That's where him and Havertz could interchange.
But yeah, I mean, men like Pulisic, I don't think he's doing anything, man. I mean, at this point, it's about time for him to sit on the bench and.
He didn't have a bad game, but he just didn't perform as much as we'd like him to perform.
He was. I would say it wasn't a good game, so that could only mean it was a bad game. But
no, I would say that.
At this point, Callum has earned the right to start, so he should.
Yeah, him start, bro.
right, weeks ago, mate. Come on.
Within his first touch, he had a shot, and then within his second touch, or his third touch, I guess, because he passed it off with the give and go, he had an assist. So I mean,
but why is this a surprise? He's been doing this the last few games. He doesn't just deserve to start now. He's deserved to start for weeks. Yeah, he's been our best player, if not one of our best, for weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, he played in Leicester game, so it's not like we're not using him now. He played in Leicester game.
Played in the Leicester game, Vitmus, but that's the only.
It was in a game where we didn't really have an opportunity. Like
the game really that recently he's actually started, and everyone was in that game. So
that wasn't a good game.
Also, I think
people can say he didn't do anything. Yeah.
Why does anyone? And he was playing on the right against Leicester, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he
played on the left. So I mean, give him a chance at left.
Yeah, people can say he's been crap against Leicester, but who was actually good against Leicester? Really,
no one was good against Leicester.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you can't
just leave Callum out. Like how many good games has Pulisic had?
Yeah,
not anything
in the Arsenal game. I don't Yagi.
Like the thing with me with Pulisic.
Oh, by the way, Kovacic with that through ball, that last through ball that we got our penalty with, that was like what I've been begging for from Kovacic. Just put the ball through the middle.
It's a bit of a better final ball off him.
Exactly. Like it looked like he didn't put it like 15 yards past them or like behind him. At least it was in front of him this time. But
it just happens every blue moon.
Huh?
Bro,
You can do it, but it just happens every blue moon. Like he done it against Man City where Kante scored.
He's playing a deep where Lampard as the man, he plays a deep role, bro, where he should be a free roamer in the midfield, I should say. That's why he doesn't get to do that often. He doesn't get to do that. He doesn't get the opportunity to do that, bro.
I think that comes down to like you look today how Mount was playing. A lot of that comes down to having confidence in who you've got next to you that they're going to be decent defensively. Most of the time we're playing with either Jorginho or Kovacic is playing the deep role, or we have Kante, and we've seen that even Kante at times hasn't been that good defensively. Gilmour today, again, even though it wasn't the hardest game, was still decent defensively. He was good, and it allows. That's where you have trust in your players. Allows you to free roam, allows the other midfielder to get further forward and do stuff like that. It just gives it options. And with Pulisic, I think on the ball, I thought he was actually okay. Like in terms of taking players on it, just as Lewis said, it's just that end product. It's just the finishing or the assisting or that final ball just isn't there. And that's where when we saw Callum come on, he had everything Pulisic had in terms of on the ball. It just he had that final pass or the assist or whatever.
Mate, as soon as Callum came on, the pace in the game just went up a level.
Yeah,
if that guy doesn't start against Wolves. If that guy doesn't start against Wolves, then there's a steward's inquiry because there's no reason for him not to start.
Callum's got better link-up play than Pulisic.
Lewis, there's no reason for him not to start.
Exactly that, but that's the whole reason for it.
The problem is we can say that about a couple of players.
But I think Callum's got better. What's it called?
Yo, yes, it means some more, bro.
Combinations.
I definitely think this season Callum's final ball's got a lot better as well. Like before there was that question over his
and his tracking back too.
Yeah.
That was always the thing under Sarri. Like as good as he was playing, it was always that like the final ball wasn't quite there, and he was a bit lazy in terms of getting back. And now we're seeing he's added those to his game, and he's getting much more of a complete player.
Yeah, I'm going to say this now. Some of the stick he was getting last season was absolutely disgusting because the season before, half the fan base called him for him to stay and not go to Bayern Munich. The guy recovered from a serious injury. Yeah, let's not forget that. And some of the stick he was getting was absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was a stop-start. He got injuries, and when he came back from that injury,
it's like
he always got little niggles. So
it's kind of
we have to give credit to Emerson because I don't know why, but I just feel really glad that he's doing well because I don't know. I just felt like that was one area where we were kind of susceptible. Like even when we were on our winning run, it was like, what happens?
Yeah, but Emerson's in the perfect role for him. Just use him as a number 2. Don't use him too much.
Exactly. I feel like whenever his number's being called, like he's putting in a decent performance. You know, like
the only bad game he's had is the Krasnodar game this season. To be honest,
he still ended up.
He's been all right.
So, and the Spurs game where
I feel like just having that solid backup. It gives us that security blanket that maybe we could rest Chilwell in a couple league matches as well, which I feel like
I think he's a decent number 2. He's just not good enough to be a number 1. That's it.
Yeah, and hopefully it's one of those where like we spoke about this like I think after the Leicester game where it's like it's given players competition. It's like making sure your backups are in a position where they could challenge, and it then it makes your first teamers want to play that bit better to make sure they stay in the team. So performances like this are good, hopefully, for making sure Chilwell was like, okay, I need to perform now because I've put in a couple of stinkers.
Yeah.
But you know, I would say, sorry, Scott, go on.
No, that was it. It's just Emerson's played well, so maybe I have to kind of step up a little bit.
I wouldn't say Emerson is not good enough to be a number 1. He's just inconsistent. I wouldn't say. I think he has quality. He's just inconsistent. He plays one good game, and when he plays another, it doesn't look the way he played in the first game. So I wouldn't say it's not good enough. It's just
that's why you don't use him too much.
To be fair, since he's been at Chelsea, how many times has he had like a consistent run of games? I mean, even under Sarri when he was playing, you know, you get him on the bench one week and then out of nowhere he'd just bring Alonso in.
No, that's
towards the end he got chances under Sarri. But it's just because Alonso was just so bad that Emerson couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, he only got in by default. Like Emerson was there because Alonso was literally a crime against football at left back. There's a huge difference.
I mean, look, with this upcoming Wolves game, I mean, we can talk about it all we want, but if I'm just simplifying it, if we go down 1-0, we are losing. In the first half, if we go down 1-0, we have no opportunity, no chance. Just turn off your TV. It's done. Like that. Just understand that. So with all these questions coming in, my answers are going to be: if we go down 1-0, we're losing.
Yo, Lampard should play a 5 at the back system like Wolves on Wednesday. I think he should match them.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll play 5 at the back.
I agree.
They might have to. Their form's been awful this season.
They might do,
Except
but
when they
at the
play
same time,
us.
at the same time, they're still persistent with 4 at the back at the minute. But I hope they play 4 because it'll be easier to get behind them theoretically.
Nice
Gregor said nice and pot. Hey, if you want a link, like I will happily send you a link. Same way if you jump on for the phone, and I'll send you a link to that as well.
Yeah.
I do want. That was a good point. Where was it? Transition. What were your thoughts of us in the transition? Because there was a good couple chances Luton made on the attack.
I don't think especially in the first half. I think second half definitely, but I think that either comes from that could come from Luton just being fired up because of the manager or because of a little bit of lack of concentration because you're getting a little bit tired. That can come from a few things. First off, I thought we were very good in terms of that sort of stuff. And again, a lot of what we were seeing, there was times when the people we were seeing it from are the people we're still unsure about whether they're fit or not, or whether they're at their best, like Reece James a couple of times. And it's just coming from we still don't know if he's fully fit or not. And I don't think we'll ever fully know. So I thought overall, it wasn't bad. Yes, there was a couple of times, but as long as you can make sure that the players are focused the whole 90 minutes, then which if you can't, I think you've got to question yourself as a manager. Then I don't think there's too much of a problem. Again, it depends how we play. Like Dag said, if we play similarly to how we played against Leicester, then I'm going to be worried. But if we play like we did today, then I'm not too worried.
Yeah, me either. Not worried at all if we played like today.
Right,
You could see today that the team really wanted this game. Like everyone, I've been saying that the players aren't really playing for Lampard, but today we couldn't see that one bit. Everyone was on it, they were out there representing Frank today. We could definitely see that. So maybe I'm not really gonna judge this game as yet because Luton did push it in somewhat, but the game against Wolves and Burnley will decide if we can really, work with Lampard until end of the season. Because Wolves and Burnley are gonna give us a more fight than Luton did.
And Spurs at the end of that too.
And then Spurs, so we just have to watch and see.
So I have a question for y'all. I didn't watch the first half, and obviously when it's 0-0, the game is played more evenly. Both sides of the normally have equal chances to attack when it's 0-0. But how was Mount in the double pivot with the?
I was literally going to move this as well. I was going to ask you for Mount. I'll add to this Mount and Gilmour. What were your thoughts about the pair of them today? Because I thought it was very optimistic.
This is what I'm asking for. People were saying that when I was saying that Mount could play in a 2 and a 4-2-3-1, it doesn't have to be a double pivot. It can just be a pivot as long as the CDM you've got next to you, you're confident in. And again, it worked because the guy we had next to him wasn't someone with no defensive qualities in him whatsoever.
Yeah, because you've got one person doing the legwork and one who can just sit back. That's what we've been crying out for the last few weeks.
I think Mount was solid. He didn't have as much license to go forward, but it is what it is, isn't it? Because he's not that person who just loves to get forward. So yeah, his work rate was good.
On the edge of the box as well. He had a couple of decent tries from there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, but
just moving the ball around.
Congratulations to him for getting his first captaincy. It was nice to see, but I mean, it was just we'll just move on. But I mean, congratulations to him. It looked like, dude, he was happy to once more. I feel like that's the important thing that not missing, but I feel like it's a good addition to really get the
Lampard's quotes on Gilmour.
That's what I'm trying to get.
What do you say?
You guys keep going about Gilmour and Mount. I will go find this out myself.
Let me say something quickly.
Go ahead.
I think Gilmour, and Mount were very, very impressive. I think they both had a 10 out of 10 performance, in my opinion. They were,
Yeah, that was good.
and this comes back to, you guys been saying it, like we should.
Was this
we
the
should-
quote that you guys are on about?
At the moment, she won't go
Oh,
alone.
right.
But
This is the same guy, right?
Are
That
we
said
even
after the
talking
Morecambe
about
game
it,
he was going to give him more minutes.
No,
we
but,
don't need to loan him.
bro, it's to be honest.
I don't think we can loan him. I don't understand. There's no one. Oh, dude, this hurts. This hurts. This hurts. Because you understand. You understand if he goes out on loan, we're gonna see more Jorginho. It's not
I
a.
know.
If he goes out on loan, we're gonna see more Jorginho. I don't want to see him playing on the pitch anymore. I don't want to see him wearing that jersey anymore. But please, there's no way.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
being
You need.
It's one thing loaning Tamori out, which I don't agree with, but you can
You've
argue
got cover, though.
we've got cover. Yeah, in the midfield, Kante's injured at the moment. Let's say Jorginho plays a few games or gets injured himself, or even gets suspended, which he has a habit of doing. Then suddenly we're down to the bare bones. He
Yeah.
doesn't need to go out alone.
This would be worse. This would be worse than the Tomori, because at least with the Tomori, the
No,
only
it
thing
should
I
be
don't
keeping
agree with
him,
that one is
man.
the buy option, because there's no need to put a buy option. But we had 5 centre backs, so I kind of get it. And you got Zuma and Thiago Silva, who's meant to be your starters. But with Gilmour, like, there's no point. Yeah, I mean,
Not gonna
Jorginho
I don't.
is just gonna get overrun. Kante isn't the same Kante. He's still good, but if he gets an injury, what do we do there? And then you only really got Mason Mount, who you know is gonna play week in, week out. And Kovacic is on and off as well, so it'd make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't think AC Milan would have loaned him had he not had the
Buy option.
because they have they're number one in Serie A. They already have their 2 starters in Romagnoli and
I think Romagnoli's injured.
oh yeah, but on top of that, they also have what's his name? The
Which
legend,
one?
the legend, Maldini's son, Daniel
Oh.
Maldini. So they already have backup options.
He's a striker, mate. He's not a defender.
That's funny. But anyway, I mean, like even going through their team sheet, they already have backup
Oh,
options
dear.
at the position. But it's not like they needed to loan out more for 6 months, like because that's not really an alluring deal to get a young, a young prospect for 6 months. Because you can't really you can't really develop him in 6 months as much as you want to, or have him get accustomed to the league that you're playing in, have him accustomed to the weight. There's a bunch of concepts that go into it, but I feel like, especially since it's such a low buyout clause, I feel like the reason why they put such a low buy option on him is because I feel like that was a little incentive in order to get him out of the club quicker.
I don't know, man. If you heard the director's comments, the AC Milan director's comments, apparently they had to fight for that buyout clause. So,
I mean, whether there
£25
other
million
Premier League
one, yeah,
clubs
'cause I'm not surprised. We shouldn't have been putting that one on him anyway.
there was other Premier League clubs that wanted him, I think. So we could have loaned him out there.
Leeds, Newcastle. I understand Newcastle because they don't play the same type of football as us.
it all depends where he's going and who he's going to play for. Because at the minute, I wouldn't want him going to West Ham, for example, because he won't play because they've got their defense sorted. Leeds would be the only one where I would really look at it and go, yeah, I want him to go there because he's playing attacking football, playing under a good manager, and is likely, because of how terrible their defense is, to actually get games.
Yeah.
At the same point, I don't want him in a Premier League team that plays in a low block because we don't really use a low block like that. So drilling a low block method into him and then coming back here and then having to re-drill another sort of method into him, it would have just taken longer and longer. So I feel like it would have been better to have him go to a league that plays with a little bit of a higher line so he gets the kind of experience. Now, obviously, it's not the exact same as us, but he gets the same kind of experience. And AC Milan are number 1 right now. They're at the top of the table. So we want him to go to a place where not only game time, but, quality game time, as well as experience from veterans and experience from, players that could really help him out. And I don't know if we're going to have players in, West Ham and, Sheffield really helping his game out, like Basham.
Do you guys think that Werner and Tammy, when they played together on the same team, Like they play pretty well, both of them. For some
Yeah,
reason.
I've already said they link up better than Giroud and Werner do, which was
Which is weird because I thought Giroud and Werner would be good.
same
I
exactly, but
I thought
they're
Tammy.
not linking up the same. Go on,
I
Alex.
thought Tammy and Ziyech were linking up pretty well.
That's the one
Yeah,
thing.
there was another one where Ziyech could have had a host of assists in this match, and
I mean, Ziyech
that's
is always.
probably why I was so frustrated.
I feel like the thing with what's his name, Giroud and Timo, they're both not really skillful players like that with dribbling at their feet, and I feel like it's always been like a better dribbler and not a worse dribbler, but like just the guy that does the 1-2s with that does it with him. I feel like the better dribbler, there always has to be a better dribbler in that scenario because the ball's not always going to get delivered right exactly where you want it, and with Giroud when he like passes it off, he's always like. He doesn't even have an inch of space when he does these give and goes, right? Like he's always like the defender always has an elbow at his back or whatever. So I feel like he doesn't, and he's always most of the time he's doing it blindly. Like he'll do it like without looking, and I feel like having a better dribbler in that scenario, such as Tammy is a better dribbler than Timo is, and I feel like that just gives them just a little bit more room to like not mess up, but it gives them more room to work together.
I don't know. I feel like it might be unpopular, but I feel like when you play Giroud and Werner, I just feel like it might be a bit too predictable because you got Giroud, who's a target man. He's one of the best target man, and then you got Werner, who is going to be in and around. Whereas with Tammy, like he's tall, but he's not good at heading. Like he's no way near Giroud's like target man.
He's quicker than you think he is.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Werner and Abraham. They're not similar, but I feel like they might give a defense more problems because Abraham can run in behind as well because he's fast. And he's got decent footwork as well. So he's not just this target man, but he still does attract defenders because he still is. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like when there's Tammy and Werner together instead of Werner and Giroud, it just causes more problems than Werner and Giroud.
No, I prefer Tammy. I just need him to just be a bit more clinical as well. I say that the guy got a hat trick, and I do want to give him credit for that as well. But the same way, that hat trick was like 50 minutes coming, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's gonna have to happen.
Hold on, Lachlan said Tammy's center of gravity is huge. I'm not gonna have that. He is Bambi. No.
His center of gravity.
But I'm not having that. He had a good game, but nah, he does not have a center of gravity.
There's a couple of times where he gets the ball. Like there was one that I pointed out to Lewis on the live stream where like he got the ball into feet and literally couldn't control it under his feet, and then lost the ball. And it's like, but that's not what Tammy's best at. And again, it just comes down to playing to a player's strengths.
He has no balance. He has absolutely no balance.
Yeah, but again, that just comes down to playing to a player's strengths. And not playing it into a guy into feet or playing it into feet when he's one-on-one with the defender. Like the Wolves game last year when he was one-on-one with the defender and he is able to do a little bit of skill or a little like get it past him. Not when he's like at the edge of the box and he's still got 4 people in front of him.
Yeah. He's okay in 1v1s. It's just when you're getting...
It's like people don't listen when we talk. Like, Josh, you guys have Tammy agenda. He scored 3. Let him shine today. Did you not hear when I said... Yes, he scored 3, but I'm not having that. Just listen to what we say, please. Listen, so we don't have to waste our time going over these comments.
We're not talking about that, and this isn't just Tammy as well. Yeah. We're just talking about the team being clinical.
Yeah,
because this game could have been off by halftime. Yeah, and this isn't just him. Werner missed a couple chances in the game. Pulisic missed a lot of chances in that game as well. There's a lot of these types of chances that go straight across the face of goal that no one gets on the end of. And this has been the same key factor for the last 2 seasons. We've always seen these sort of chances that we do well to create, but we don't finish.
Yeah. That Ziyech one was begging for someone to get on the end of it. That corner one where he had that quick 1-2 Mason Mount and then he just fizzed it across from goal. Like that was asking for a goal. I kind of feel sorry for Ziyech there.
Havertz is getting bigger. I 100% agree. The way there was this one, I don't know, not what is necessary to play, but like he got the ball and then he was running down and then he literally like bullied one of the players off and then just hit like the second gear where he boosted onto the attacking third. But I feel like he's getting his pace back. I feel like the effects of COVID are wearing off. Obviously, there's no symptoms or whatever. But just, the long-term effects, I feel like, are finally like he's finally getting back into the player that he was.
What's his name? Havertz. I feel like you can't play him every game. I think we should just play him in games like this. Play him in the odd Premier League game, and then bring him off from the bench for this season, and then next season, like ease him in more. So and then in the next couple of seasons, he is still 21, so he's got like how many years before he hits his prime? Because I just feel like if you just throw him into every game, it's gonna be like, you know what I mean? He's gonna get tired. He's not gonna adapt properly. So I just need to ease him in, because when he does properly adapt to the Premier League,
Ryan,
he's gonna be quality. He's got the quality. It's just he hasn't adapted yet. Like when he adapts, the quality will show.
the problem is that's what you see with a player that has a $20 million price tag, but the man costs $90 million or I'm sorry, 75 million pounds, right? And then at the same time, like dude, the biggest part that really feels like is really hurting him is that price tag, because you have to play him on the pitch. Because dude, number one, he wears the number 29, which is very weird, right? So the fact that you have to get like jersey sales is a really big part of football, right? And you have to be on the pitch in order to get your jersey sold, because it has to be seen, right? That's why the board normally prefers to have the big players playing, because one, they can see they're like ambassadors for the club while they're on the pitch, and then at the same time, the jersey the jersey sales, dude, the amount of money that the club makes off of them, like it's like I feel like that's one reason why Frank is being forced to play him.
I don't know. Like if we throw
Havertz
Havertz into every game and then he doesn't perform, people are gonna call him a flop. Whereas if you just play him in these types of games, like people would say, "Oh, what's your 72 million pound player doing on the bench here?" But after a couple of years, they're gonna eat up them words. Because if we throw him into every game now, like his confidence is just gonna be shot because he hasn't adapted to the Premier League yet. So it's just gonna put more pressure onto him. Whereas if you just like ease him in for this season, and look, Ndombele came in for like 60 more last season. People were calling him a flop. Now they're eating up their words, deleting their Twitter messages. Fred, for the first season, didn't play really well. He was like 50 more. Now he's looking like Man United's best midfielder. You know what I mean? So you can't just throw players in. You know what I mean? Even Fabinho, he was like how much? For the first season, he didn't do anything. Second season, he's coming in. So players take time to adapt. You can't just throw him in. Because
I think there's a big difference with the players we talk about compared to Havertz, and that's it. If you look at all those that you've just mentioned, you look at Ndombele, he, like Mourinho, went with a completely different tact to how he normally goes, and actually went and like properly coached him and like was open to him, and was like speaking to him constantly. Same with, you look at Klopp when he spoke about Fabinho, he didn't want to play him in those first few games because he didn't want to just fry him, chuck him straight in the deep end. He wanted to nurture him into the game. You look at like Lampard with Havertz at the minute, it looks like completely opposite. It looks like those two guys don't communicate whatsoever, and there's no in between them, and that's where I feel like it's going to be different. Where for example, I know we're going to touch on the Leicester game, but like you look at the Leicester game, you look at the comments he made afterwards about not running. The guy Havertz was the first sub made, and they were talking about like the players not running enough. That screams to me that Havertz is one of those players you're talking about, and then it's one of those where you've already battered this guy's confidence. You're battering him more.
A different manager will get out of it.
Yeah, a different tact needs to be taken, or it takes a different manager. It's one of those.
I mean, I think it's a given that Lampard's probably going to go at the end of the season, unless he does a miracle. So the latest he's going is the end of the season, and the club is looking to get a German manager as well. You can help Havertz development more, because Lampard isn't the best tactically. Like he hasn't got that status behind him. Whereas if you get like a proper manager to proper nurture Havertz as well, he's gonna get better. Like he's only gonna get better. But yeah, I think Lampard's doing the right thing now, just not trying to throw him into every game, or at least that's what I think he's trying to do, anyways.
One thing also as well. Sorry to interrupt. It's just I want to like in terms of Lampard, fair play for trying something different today with a formation and a different like. You could see the system was changing a little bit. Like towards the end of the second half, we were crossing a lot more. But like you look at that first half, it was more than just crosses. It was playing the midfield, quick passing. It was more like what we saw last year. there were crosses coming in, but it was different types of crosses and they were more measured. You saw the one Reece did for Tammy's second goal. That's measured. He put that like straight on Tammy's head. He couldn't miss with that almost. And then you look at, we were whipping crosses across the edge of the box low. It's all about, it was about different ways of crossing it and not just, hitting it long and hoping that someone gets the head in it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys about that as a final question as well. What were your thoughts on Frank Lampard's decision making today? What were your thoughts on his tactics? And does it leave you with any sort of confidence going into the Wolves game? Scott, since you answered, we'll go to Dag first and we'll go around.
I had confidence after the last one, and we got battered by Leicester. I had confidence, not confidence, but I had hope against the City one, and we got battered. I'm not gonna head into this saying I'm fully confident, but I'm gonna head into this saying I'm gonna give Lampard support because he, like Scott just said, he did switch it up. Again, the type of play that we were playing, especially in the second half. Again, I can only speak about what I saw, right? And it felt like we were really playing through the middle more. It felt like the passes, once again, we were skipping the first man, which is what I was really wanting to see. And, if we set up the, formation-wise, the same way we did today, or we match how Wolves set up, I will feel more confident than just the generic 4-3-3.
Right, Alex, what about you? What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man, you got to give it up to Frank. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't change my opinion on him. But what I will say is, when he does try something new, like the 4-2-3-1 today, and Mount next to Gilmour, that's something different. That's what we've been crying out for. And yes, it's only Luton, but if he builds on from this and starts doing this in some vital league games, then maybe we'll see us start to pick up some more points. But so today, to answer your question, he's done his job, and that's what game management's all about. Looking at the game and saying, how do we play today? This is a perfect example of him getting it right. But he's got a bit in other games as well, because it's no good doing it today and then not doing it anymore, because we've seen how it can obviously work. And obviously in the interview the other day, he said it's not about the 4-2-3-1 and not about the formation, and it's about the desire. I have to say, I don't agree with that. If he plays a different formation, you're gonna see the best out of certain players in this team, and I believe that.
All right, Vitmus, we'll go to you as well. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, honestly, Frank, as Alex said, I don't change. I have no reason to change my thoughts on getting another manager at the end of the season. But today, seeing that he's willing to change and try to adapt to his players, that was very good of him. We can only wait to see what he does for the upcoming games to properly, give him another go or not, but not another season, just until the end of the season. If he can revive our season by a top 4 or even a Europa League spot and winning the FA Cup and getting past Atletico in the Champions League, then we can take some of the shots fired at him a little bit. But we still need a manager. But fair play to Lampard for trying something new today.
Yeah, Ryan, we'll go to you last. What are your thoughts, bro?
I don't know. I think he done well today with the tactics and playing Mount and Gilmour, so you got a good balance there. But I need to see it against Wolves, because it's all well and good doing it against Luton. But fact is, we could have played crossing inshallah in this game, and we still would have got past Luton, because our quality would have just got past. Our quality would have got through them. It might have been like a scrape 1-0 draw, 1-0 win, but we would have got past. So yeah, it's all about doing it against Wolves, Burnley, Spurs, Atletico, all of them teams in the Premier League. If I see it there, then I'll be good. But Luton, I'm still not like convinced that he's gonna change. But I hope he does. But it's just Luton, so if he does it against Wolves or Burnley, then I'll see. But I don't think he will.
Yo, Lewis,
Go on.
what are your thoughts on Christensen today?
I mean, I thought both centre backs were solid. To be honest, I can't really pick which one was better than the other. But same way, it was another one of those games where they didn't really have much to deal with. I thought Zuma was kind of in the way for Kepa for the first goal. I've heard a couple of people saying that, but I also don't want to just use that as a way to drag him down for his performance. Other than that, it was a solid performance from both of them. I could just leave it at that, to be honest. I can't nitpick too much on it. Anyone else want to add to it?
Yo, hold on there. One more thing. Big up Kepa. Big up Kepa.
Yeah,
Big save.
Wonderful.
Big set. I mean,
Yeah, to be fair, that was a good save. Yeah, obviously the mistake, that's going to be highlighted. It was a good save. I'm not going to say that he on his own, got us into the next round, because he didn't. Because that mistake could have cost us. But
Yeah, but
you have to hold your hands up. That was a good
I mean,
save.
this is just Kepa. He
Bro,
concedes in one every two shots.
we understand that, but the past Kepa, when he makes mistake, he doesn't come back from them, bro. This time he made a mistake and he stepped up big for the club.
Yeah, we were only 2-1 up at that point as well.
Yeah, if that goal
Yeah,
had went in, we still would have won the game, but it wouldn't been so easy.
Yeah, it's a good save. But I do think the guy should have done a bit better, to be fair. I'm not trying to slate Kepa, but the guy who did kind of,
No,
it was kind of close to Kepa, to be fair.
it was close, but it was a reflex save, bro. Any other day that would have beat even Alisson, one of them keepers. I'm telling you, that was a good shot, but maybe close to him. But think of it, his hands were not up already before the shot. It was a reflex save. Boom, boom, and his hand was there.
Yeah, it was a good save.
I'm not taking anything from him. Big save. Not I take not more from him for that.
Wrong hand.
I think you don't want to let the team down as well, because he already made one mistake and it was 2-1. So it was good. It was a good save. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know with Kepa, but it was a good save. It makes a good rest save.
Yeah, that's cool. Guys, we're going to end the stream here. Guys, I hope you all have enjoyed the 3-1 Chelsea versus Luton review. We will be back tomorrow for a live stream about God knows what, but I'll come up with something that we can.
Might do player ratings tomorrow.
Yeah, we can get 20 minutes out of player ratings. I can add that to it. Yeah, we'll come up with something. But pick up the entire panel for jumping on. Scotty, Page, Dag, Vitmus, Alex, Ryan. I'm going to leave the link to Vitmus's channel in the comments section and to Ryan's channel as well. Just give me a couple minutes to sort that one out. We'll be back for the live phone-in on Blues Fans TV from 3:30 p.m. Guys, check out the link, which should be in the Patreon by now. I think Sammy would have sorted that one out. But guys, check it out. And we'll see you in about half an hour. But until then, take care, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and up the Chelsea.